Hey guys, so today I just wanted to come here and make a video about my scleroderma. So I just want to make sure I look alright before I start. I don't know why I care so much, but I care. And I am chewing gum, so I'm just gonna ask for a second to spit it out so that I'm not weird and trashy in this video. Okay, I think I'm ready to start. I wasn't sure whether I should do this in my natural hair or with my wig on. I knew for sure that I wanted to have makeup on because it was advice I got from a friend, and I also watched another girl's video and she had makeup on. Her name is Jordan Astri. If you guys want to check her out, she's amazing. But yeah, I wanted to come out here and make this video on my scleroderma. I didn't expect to be as serious as I am, but I guess I am serious. This is a serious topic for myself and a lot of people. So I just want to get started. I have notes on my phone and the battery of my camera is flashing, so I do hope I make it the whole way through without the battery dying. I'm not sure if I will, otherwise I might have to go home, charge my battery and then come back, which will suck a bit, but I mean, either way, things will happen how they're supposed to happen, and this video will get made eventually. So, I do have some notes here on my phone. I bet you guys can't read the words, but I just wanted to show you guys so that if I'm constantly looking down, you understand why. So, the reason, I just want to first start, or I'll put that in my outro. I wanted to put the reason why I'm making this video. Or let me just say it now. The reason why I'm making this video is because I started out wanting to be a beauty channel, but if you guys have checked out any of my videos, you might see that I've gone in so many different directions since. But as someone who aspires to be a beauty influencer, one thing that is common is that I don't look like a lot of the girls out there, and I think for the sake of my YouTube channel going forward and for you guys to just understand who Nolo is as a person, it's probably a good idea if I can just make this video on my scleroderma to explain to you guys what is quote unquote wrong with me, or rather my hands, because I think it's mostly prominent in my hands. It's probably prominent in my face as well, but I feel like it's not as bad. But with my hands, it's definitely like, okay, something's going on, but I don't know what. So for anyone who's curious out there, for my friends and family, I have a lot of friends and family who literally do not understand what's going on with me. My parents barely understand what's going on with me. They just know it's something to do with my skin. My own father and mother, they don't really know. And this is not to say that they are parents who don't care. My parents care about me a lot. They just I think it's so much medical jargon involved, and it's a disease that they've never seen. So even though I've had this for close to a decade now, I think for them and a lot of people, it's so bizarre. Like, people don't know what autoimmune conditions are and all of that. So I am really talkative today, so for the sake of not going too much off topic on my own tangent, let me get into my topics. Before I do that, because I am filming in my car, I just want to switch the aircon on. Okay, so this disease I have, it's called scleroderma, systematic scleroderma to be more specific, and it causes you to get cold easily. So the reason I'm actually filming in my car is because I get cold easily, so I don't want to be in my house and then try to film. And I've actually found, oddly enough, that I do film better in my car, so this is something that might happen more often until I can get a better filming space. But I'm still having a good time, still love doing YouTube videos. Let's get into this one. Let's get into the first topic. So my first topic is what is scleroderma. So my understanding of it, it's basically an autoimmune condition. And what an autoimmune condition is when your immune system decides now that it's going to go and attack your body. So in some ways, how I like to look at it and how it's explained sometimes is that it's fixing areas that are not there. So my skin is producing too much collagen, which causes it to be too thick, And then this causes a host of other problems because now my skin is trying to repair things that are not there. So that is an autoimmune condition in a nutshell, is that it when your own immune system attacks your body. There are different autoimmune conditions. There's lupus, multiple sclerosis, etc. Quite a few. But the one that I have is systematic scleroderma. My dermatologist had said when I got diagnosed in 2011 that I actually have a mixed connective tissue disease. I still don't understand what my scleroderma is mixed with, but I've noticed that the most prevalent symptoms that I do have are that of scleroderma. So that's the best explanation I can give, guys. I'm not obviously not a doctor. The knowledge that I know is just from sort of being sick and trying to research the condition on my own, etc. So I hope that is a good explanation, and it does sort of put it into context, because as I've said, a lot of people, even in my personal life, do not know necessarily what's wrong with me. So I hope that attempts to explain what is going on inside my body. So I cannot believe I stayed on topic, because today, like, I've been going off on tangents. So how I found out. So I found out in 2010. So it was the year after my grandfather had passed away. And I was 17 years old. I was in grade 11, living a relatively good life. I was just like a really good child. I loved school. I loved my friends. I loved my grandmother and all of that. And then I was working for my grandmother. So my grandmother is a florist and a street vendor. So she, I don't know, to put it in colloquial terms, she sells flowers on the street. So I was there working for her, and then I had felt some recent changes in my body. So I said to one of my grandmother's friends who was also there, that I said to her, can you just feel there's something going on in my wrist? Because I genuinely feel that we all sort of know our bodies, and when something is wrong in your body, I do genuinely believe that because you live in this body every day, you can tell immediately that something is off. So I could tell that something was off. I had this feeling for a while before even this day. I'd had it for a while. I had noticed that there's a lot of things happening that have never happened before, but I just kind of ignored them. I mean, I was a sickly person, so I was just like, it's probably part of my eczema or whatever. I didn't really think much of it. Oh, sorry if I'm playing with my hair too much. It's sort of like a nervous tick. So I didn't think much of it when the symptoms came at first, because I was getting ulcers, because people with scleroderma typically get ulcers, and I was getting cold, first of all, of which my whole life I've never been someone who had issues with the cold. I loved winter. So I was suddenly getting cold. My hands were changing color in the weather. But I think at first, I don't know, your first instinct is not to think I have like this, life-threatening chronic condition. You're just like, okay, something's weird. But for some reason, it didn't click immediately. My friends would always like have to borrow me like their gloves and stuff, because for some reason I didn't have my own gloves. I need to thank them for that. Actually, my friends are awesome. So my friends would actually borrow me like their gloves and stuff at school in winter, because I was noticing that I was getting cold. I really didn't think anything of it. As I'm saying, I didn't think I had a chronic condition. I was just like, okay, recently I'm getting cold. It is what it is. That was the main symptom. Even today, that's still the main symptom, is the Raynaud's and the getting cold. But I did feel in my body, as I'm saying, my wrist, I felt like my joints were changing, because it does change you internally, this disease as well, obviously. So yes, everything just felt different. I didn't notice that my skin was thickening, of which it was. And when I got to the dermatologist, and she said to me, people typically, when someone has scleroderma, you cannot pinch their skin. So if you look at if you do this on your hand and then you try to pinch your hand, you're going to be able to pinch it. I cannot pinch the skin on my hand, or probably anywhere else on my body. So normally if I can pinch the skin, it means that the skin score is improving. So the dermatologist said that, and I was like, okay, wow, like suddenly it started clicking, like, okay, it makes sense. But up until that point, like, obviously there was nothing in me that was like, okay, you have a chronic condition now. So it was, I guess, when I got to the dermatologist, like, okay, wow, I have a chronic condition. I did receive the news really well. At the time, I like to think that in life in general, I am a calm person, even when I am faced with trials and tribulations, so to speak. Just want to make sure that I don't have anything on my nose. I just want to wipe my nose quickly. Okay, so I was used to just only going to a dermatologist because my main issue with my health was my eczema. I didn't really have any other health issues, and obviously like a 17-year-old at that point wouldn't have seen a rheumatologist for anything. So I went to my dermatologist. I thought, you know, she's a brilliant lady. Her name is Dr. Malika. If you guys live in Pretoria, she's amazing. So I was just like, I know she's very intelligent, so whatever's going on with me, you know, she'll know what to do. So I go to see her. I mean, that's the news she delivered. She even had to like pick up a textbook, I guess, because these kind of diseases are so rare. So I'm sure as a doctor, you just need to reference something to make sure that you know you're delivering this big news. So you actually want to make sure that what you're delivering is the truth and it's correct. So she refers me to a rheumatologist. I think I was with my grand, like she would always go with me to all of my appointments when I was a kid. So I guess 17 is not exactly a kid, but you know, I think up until I reached 18, like she would hold my hand at all of my appointments, etc. I also gotta thank my grand. I think sometimes I forget what a great support system the people in my life have been. So fast forward, we refer to the rheumatologist and we go to the rheumatologist. Our rheumatologist, you know, gives us a similar story. You have an autoimmune condition. The dermatologist had already put me on prednisone, which is to put it in layman's terms, it's a steroid. So the rheumatologist now said, okay, since you're already on a steroid, let's continue that steroid. And then he also gave me, what is this medicine called? I say it all the time, nifedipine, which is a blood vessel dilator. It's great medicine for people with scleroderma. Prednisone, they like to give steroids to people with autoimmune conditions. I'm not 100% sure why or what a steroid is supposed to do in your body, to be honest with you, which I don't like, because that's one thing that I don't like sometimes, is that doctors sometimes will not explain to patients why certain medicine is prescribed. And personally, when I'm drinking something, I want to know why I'm drinking it. So I feel like all of this medicine was just thrown at me without an explanation as to why, which in a way it is a bit unfair, because you kind of need to know what's going on with your body. And it's almost like similar to when someone is diagnosed with HIV and you're going to prescribe them ARVs. You need to explain why you're prescribing ARVs. So it wasn't explained to me. So I finished the prednisone. It made me gain a lot of weight, a lot of stomach fat, which I'm still struggling to lose to this day. But also to counteract that, let me be honest, I've never actually tried hard enough to lose this stomach fat. I do feel like if I genuinely tried, I could lose the weight. But anytime you're on a steroid, it can make you prone to gaining a lot of belly fat, because my stomach is my genetics, they cause me to gain weight more in my stomach than other places anyways. So now you're giving me a steroid, which what a steroid is going to do, it's going to tell your body that it's in stress mode. When your body is in stress mode, then you gain weight more in your tummy area. So I gained a lot of weight in my tummy area. As I'm saying, like, I'm still struggling to lose that weight. The nifedipine, I didn't take it as seriously, but I would notice that when I did take it, my ulcers would heal a lot faster. And the reason I didn't take it is because, as I'm saying, it wasn't explained to me that because I think it was prescribed 4 times a day, and it was never explained to me that this is the reason you're taking it. It's a vasodilator. I had to Google all that stuff, and at the time I honestly feel like I was 17, so I could have understood that had it been explained to me. But it's okay, like, let's let bygones be bygones. Yeah, so that was the diagnosis part of my story. Let me just check my notes to see. I think the next topic is my symptoms. Yeah, it's my symptoms. So I think I've already just described my symptoms.